With the God of Destruction looking for a Super Saiyan God, he accidentally awakened a power far beyond. With Kakarot learning God Ki, he managed to evolve his Super Saiyan 4 into a limit-breaking form which allowed him to defeat the legendary assassin Hit. However, Akai is not happy with the sudden power being achieved by a mere mortal. Before we get into that though, make sure you like and subscribe. 80% of you guys who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed, and I'm not making that number up. So please, if you do enjoy, subscribe, it goes a long way. But without further ado, let's get into the long-awaited fourth part of What If Goku Was Born a Super Saiyan 4. It's been a few months since the Tournament of Destroyers ended, and in that time, our heroes have been up to a considerable amount of training. The main people involved will be Kakarot, Vegeta, and Raditz. Gohan isn't included because without Piccolo, he doesn't have the motivation or the mentor to train further. The two brothers had been training with Whis and both unlocked unique powers of their own, with Raditz going for a more normal Super Saiyan Blue, while Kakarot went for Limit Breaker. This left Vegeta to find his own power, and he did train in the Time Chamber with Kakarot and Raditz, getting him Super Saiyan God. However, the Saiyan does feel he is far behind the two others, and wants to get his own power up, but that's also easier said than done. His original goal is to unlock Super Saiyan 4, and he enlists the help of Nappa to do it. Now that the group knows the origin of the form, they know all it needs is a Great Ape combined with Super Saiyan. Since Vegeta can already control his Great Ape really well, all he needs to do is stack Super Saiyan on top. He heads into the Time Chamber with Nappa, who only agrees to go in for 2 months because he's old and doesn't want to lose too much time of his life. Vegeta needed a Bloodwave machine, so he asked around and met Bulma, someone who grew a liking to Vegeta and Vegeta back. She was surprised to learn about Vegeta's origins, and after doing some research, she's able to make one for him. And that's what they ended up using to transform Vegeta into a Great Ape. The first few times doesn't go so well, but eventually with enough practice, Vegeta manages to stack the two forms together. The control part is a struggle for him because he doesn't have much to focus on. However, his need to get stronger and become the strongest is leading him to slowly control this power. Eventually, he does manage to shrink down and become a Super Saiyan 4. He does this with about 1 month left in the chamber, which he uses to train with Nappa. Nappa isn't the best training partner because he's limited to Super Saiyan 2. However, this training helps Vegeta control the Super Saiyan 4. With his training not being the best, Vegeta convinces Whis to take him up to Beerus' planet, where he shows off Super Saiyan 4 to the other Saiyans. They're impressed, but it's nothing too great considering that both of them have passed that power by a long shot. Beerus is the one to take most interest in Vegeta, seeing that he doesn't have a path to follow. Kakarot and Raditz continue to evolve their power, and with Vegeta getting stronger, they have better training, which makes him even more powerful, stronger than in canon. Vegeta starts getting tutored by Beerus on a certain destructive power. Meanwhile, Zamasu, a Kai from Universe 10, is getting angrier and angrier as the days goes by. He eventually cracks and asks Zuno how to locate the Super Dragon Balls, which he uses to make a wish. He wishes to switch bodies with the Saiyan known as Kakarot. Shocker. Now here's where some complicated stuff will take place. In this version of the story, there was no future timeline. Trunks never came back because he never needed to. There was no android, no dead Goku, so when Zamasu takes Kakarot's body, he takes the body of the Kakarot in the main timeline. So randomly, one day on Beerus' planet, Kakarot's appearance fully changes to Zamasu's, while Kakarot Black, who we will just call Black for simplicity reasons, goes to the past and recruits another version of himself who he wishes for immortality to attack the main timeline. They swiftly kill Gowasu and then travel to the other universes to kill their Kai. Whis immediately feels the death of the other gods as well as the immobility of the other angels. He informs Beerus and they realize that these two events might in some way be related. No one in the group knows instant transmission, but Supreme Kai knows a teleportation technique and he's alerted of the threat. Therefore he uses the Kai to get to Beerus' planet, where they come up with a plan. Whis looks into his staff and realizes that the appearance of Kakarot has changed to a Kai in training from Universe 10. The guess is he stole Kakarot's body. Now the other gods are taken out one by one, with Universe 7 being the only one left who has a usable God of Destruction, Angel, and Kai. The Trinity. Black and Zamasu don't think it's the best idea to attack them because they will most likely die. Instead, they attack Earth, where the only defense is Gohan. Gohan has fully fell behind on training, as I mentioned earlier, so he is much weaker than he was in ROF. Not to mention, Zamasu and Black attack together because they know the strength of the fighters on Earth, or otherwise. They start destroying cities one by one, and it's mass destruction. While Black doesn't have the most strength right now, as soon as Gohan starts to defend the Earth, that changes. Quick intermission. I've decided to make a slight change in the story, and that's Gohan's strength. While he might be like Broly, I don't think it's fair to give him the power of Broly. So while he might have similar transformation and potential, it's not on the level of Broly to make him broken. That's just a small nerf, however, because Gohan is still powerful. But him not training at all affects more than that. Back to the story. Gohan and Black start their fight with Zamasu watching from the distance. The others notice what's going on, and with this, they rush back to Earth as fast as they can. It will take 30 minutes though, as mentioned by Whis in Dragon Ball Super. Black is on the losing foot from the beginning, as Gohan's powered up in his Super Saiyan transformation. Gohan punches and kicks Black before questioning why he looks like his father, but Black gives no answer. He only scoffs in disgust of the power a mortal like Gohan has. Black retaliates as he gets stronger and stronger, landing a ki blast to Gohan's chest which sends him flying back into the city. He requests that Zamasu heal him, which is an ability Kais have. Kibito, a Kai in training, had this, so Zamasu, also a Kai in training, should also have it. This gives Black a huge Zenkai, like his Zenkai is in canon, but even greater due to the higher damage he's receiving. He flies towards Gohan before landing a barrage of punches and kicks, followed by an elbow which crashes Gohan through multiple buildings. Black feels his power growing, he feels more like Kakarot, every second that passes. But just as he's about to land the finishing blow, an aura of light comes through as Beerus, Whis, Vegeta, and Raditz show up. Black knows not to meddle with them yet, as he isn't as used to the body, but he's stopped when Raditz attacks him. Going into Super Saiyan Blue, Raditz reaches for Black, but just then, Zamasu comes in with a kick to Raditz, which is stopped by a hand from Vegeta, who punches Zamasu back. Black takes this as an experience opportunity, and Beerus doesn't seem to be intervening yet, so he decides to just attack Raditz, who's immediately overwhelmed. Raditz powers up further, which makes Black go on the defense, taking revenge for his brother and nephew. Raditz lands a combo on Black, followed by a thunderous kick sending Black into the mud. He tries to fly back up, but his body hurts too much. Raditz picks him up by the collar, and is about to punch him through the stomach, when suddenly, his hand is blocked by Black's, whose aura starts to change into a rosé-type shade. Suddenly, his hair achieves the same color, and amplifies Black's power tremendously. Smirking, Black uses a blade to strike the confused Raditz in the chest, dropping him. Zamasu takes the chance to Kai over to Black and then Kai out. With this newfound power, they must be unstoppable. The group are shocked by the new transformation. The dude that looks like Kakarot and how strong he was? After that, they collect themselves. They all head to the lookout where their Dragon Balls are collected. They wish everyone back and try to get Kakarot's body back as well. But Shenron says he can't undo what was done by the Super Dragon Balls, which means Kakarot is out of the picture for now. The rest of the group, on the other hand, are not. Beerus is ready to intervene, but he and Whis are called to Zeno's place after the gods and Kais were taken out. The Grand Priest is intervening now too. Vegeta and Raditz train and wait for the return of the two. Speaking of, Zamasu and Black are on a planet close by, and are just as shocked to discover this new power as a group. Black is not that satisfied by it though. Don't get me wrong, he likes the power, but it's not what he expected. He was more keen to get the Limit Breaker form, which seems to be a much bigger power boost than the one he currently has. He and Zamasu have a plan to use the Time Ring and summon Super Shenron again. This time they will ask to receive instructions to get this power. This is abusing the power of Super Shenron, but they did this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Lo and behold, they discover what they need to do, and it doesn't seem that difficult. All Black has to do is turn into an ape, which sounds disgusting, but easy enough. I didn't mention this before, but Black does get a tail with his new body. Remember, Kakarot had a tail, so there is no reason Black wouldn't have one. He despises it, but since it looks like it will help him power up, he doesn't mind it that much. Of course it's filthy though. I just don't want to put a tail on every render because that's too much work for the idea, so just imagine. With Zamasu's help, a god who can make just about anything, they can clearly make a fake moon, which turns Black into a giant raging ape. He has well control over it, considering that he is in the body of a person who had full control over said power. Black tries his power out, and while it's an increase, the ape transformation isn't much of an addition. He then tries the next step stated by Super Shenron. Stack the Super Saiyan transformation on top. Black doesn't have that, but he does have Rosé, which is apparently even more powerful. I mean, it was rivaling Gohan's Super Saiyan and overpowering that, and Gohan's extremely powerful, much more than everybody else's Super Saiyan, so that must make it stronger, right? Black assumes. This is an extremely powerful transformation to stack on Great Ape, and is not that much like Super Saiyan, which requires time. But Black is an overachiever, so with his godly status, they managed to stack Super Saiyan Rosé with Great Ape. And what does this make? A rosé version of Super Saiyan 4. This comes with immense power, so great that it rivals that of Limit Breaker. Black is satisfied. He thinks the fur on his body is overkill. He's disgusted by the actual physical changes, thinking he's starting to become more and more like the mortals, these monkeys. But he finally has power beyond what they can comprehend. And without that Kakarot fellow who had the power to stop him, they can't do much to him. So he and Zamasu go back to Earth, where Vegeta, Gohan, and Raditz have been training themselves. But they did not expect Black to have gotten so much stronger. As he descends, Black lets out a roar that could be felt throughout the planet. He ascends over the moon and lets his purple, rosé aura flush through everyone's eyes. The blinding light clears and it reveals a purple-furred Black, with the looks of a Super Saiyan 4. The Z-Fighters are amazed by the power, shook even. Black and Zamasu stand in a godly manner. Well, mortals, how do you like the power of a god? But that's where we're leaving things off for right now. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Follow my Twitter to see more of me and also the Discord server. I'm most active there, so if you want to talk with me, I'll most likely talk back. Links in the description. If you guys want to get early thumbnails, videos, and even script access, consider becoming a member. It supports me, and you can become one for as cheap as $1. Click the join button or the first link in the description to become one. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. While Kakarot's black.